Okay, I've got my cloth. I've got some 4-ounce 50-inch. All I'm going to do right now is just roll it out and center it, and I'm going to let it relax for a couple days, well, probably tonight, and then I'll start smoothing tomorrow. Okay, I've got the cloth rolled out. I don't know why people, when they roll up fiberglass tape, use masking tape in order to hold it in place, and then when you try to pull it up, you just rip the glass apart. You know, all these opens and stuff, and pulling out loose threads. So I had to pull everything forward and leave the short end on the stern, so I was able to wrap up the excess. The other thing I've determined now that I've got first smoothing, I'm going to let this set overnight, and then I'm going to probably smooth it 3 or 4 times tomorrow, and then the next day after that I will glass or wet out the glass. But now that I know the width area, I'm going to put my masking tape about 1 inch in from the edge of this keel seat. Okay, I'm putting the tape on now. I took a little block earlier and rammed it along the edge by hand. I didn't pull along, I just move it along and put a pencil mark on the bottom side to give me an idea of a line to follow as I pull the tape out. I'll be cutting, after I get done wetting out and the epoxy turns green on the wetted out cloth, I'll be cutting along this upper line and pulling away the excess. It's not something that is overly critical. Try to do a good job though. Okay, we've got the glass on the boat, and I've trimmed off the excess, and I've done a couple hand smoothings. I want to stress that your hands are clean, you don't have any sticky stuff on them, so that you're pulling the cloth around, and then just gently rub it. Bring your hand down like you're at airplane landing, so you don't go whomp and then come in like an airplane, and then just kind of pull it along. Take all the excess to the ends and just kind of pat it around, spend a few minutes getting it all ready. But then the big thing is to let it set overnight, at least 1 night or 2 nights, depending how wrinkled it is. Another thing I've found too is if you got damaged areas in the cloth, and I'll show a little sample on the sidebar because I don't want to mess it up because you can pull it up, is if you got some tears or whatever, just take your finger and rub around the area in and out, and just kind of rub it around, and you can kind of tease it back into being in line again. So if you got a spot that got snagged, you can fix it. The other thing I want to do, wherever I put it at, is here I am again, is to take a nice soft bristle brush and then just kind of paint it. You can paint out some of the areas and then just chase all those little creases and wrinkles to the end. And it's like I said earlier with your hands, just come in like an airplane landing. Don't kind of come back where you might jam it in, but just kind of come in as a landing. And then brush out any little creases, especially on the ends. Let me turn it around to the end part here on the bow. Like I said, when you're first hand scrubbing it, kind of come forward and down and just kind of slowly massage it around the very bow end itself. And if you get a little bit of extra, kind of as you're coming forward and down, push back a little bit and chase some of that excess into the slack material that's at the bottom. Put my gloves on, and we're going to start mixing up some epoxy, and because we're going to be wetting out the cloth pretty quickly, I'm going to make up some bigger batches, probably 2 squirts of each on the pumps that I've got. So let me get set up and we'll come back. Okay, we're back. I got some epoxy mixed up. System 3 silver tip laminating. Goes on pretty good. There's no use in having it in a cup, so go ahead and pour it out. viscous, so it wets out quick. Unlike some of the cheaper epoxies that tend to be like molasses in wintertime. Start from the middle and take it to the end. Since you got a good wet out, just start taking the excess to the dry spots. Sometimes doing this you'll get some foaming, which if you were doing a skin coat boat you would want to scrape the foam off your tools, because that can leave some discoloring in the natural finish. Okay, when you start doing these side things, just kind of, I like to pour the epoxy along the top surface and then bring it down. Don't pour it on the side because it'll come down too quick on you. And then just kind of slowly work it along the edge. Pour it up high. That way you can control it. On some boats, on the second coat on the weave fill, I've added pigment pastes to them, because then the imperfections just jump right out at you. But on the wet out coat, never put any color in it, because you want to see this thing go clear. When you get down to the ends, you got to control it a little more. That's why I'm going to be going. I'll go one more big batch for the other side. That's the other thing, when you do one side and you start out on the top, do the other side and then work outwards and towards the ends. Do some roll out here too. Okay, we're back at it. It's turned green. I've come along and cut along the top of the blue tape, so now it's time to start pulling out and away. I'll come back tomorrow after it's all set up and I'll fair in this edge now. Fair that in and then get it smooth. And then probably I'll do two fairing, a first and then a truing up from the white and the yellow, and then I'll start filling the weave, and that way I can take the epoxy on the weave fillings over the top of that and start getting my finished hull. Oh. That's it, so we'll come back when I do some fairing on this thing.